So if you saw this video title, then you probably clicked on it because you're wondering what we are actually going to miss now that we're leaving China. So I decided to invite Yvonne back to the channel to also talk about it because she's also been here for the same amount of time.
Yeah, 14 years. So yeah.
Yeah, we've been here for a long time and we have a lot of things that we're going to miss, but we're going to talk about kind of the biggest ones. And obviously these are going to really be personal that really impact our life because, you know, it's things like food and stuff. So let's jump into that list. But before we start, we want to talk about the new channel that we're starting.
Yes, because if you have seen the community post that Miguel just posted recently, you know that with the new adventure and our new life in Portugal, we are also going to start a new channel, which is called Roots and Restorations. And right now we're close to 100 subscribers. So if you are curious what this next chapter of our life is going to be like, and you want to follow us restoring the house and putting down roots in a new country, working on the land, then make sure to head over to Roots and Restorations and subscribe there.
Yeah, so this channel, as I've said in the past, is going to remain kind of about geopolitics and about China and just kind of those types of things. And so all that content doesn't make any sense to, like all the house content and all the stuff that we're doing in Portugal doesn't make any sense to put here. So we started the new channel for anybody that's interested. We'll talk a little bit more at the end, but let's jump in to the first thing that we are going to miss.
Yes, which is, I would say, maybe transportation and the ease of getting around.
Yeah.
Well, Beijing is a humongous city, and there are, well, I was going to say 1,000 subway lines, but there's a lot of subway lines which you can really go from north to south, from east to west, everywhere. You can get to the airport, and it's also really cheap. It only costs you a couple of renminbi, not even a euro or a dollar. Which is super convenient.
So since we've moved to China 14 years ago, we've had no car. We haven't needed to have a car. So that's a testament to how easy it is to use public transportation and now apps like Didi, which is basically like Uber. And so you can get around very easily.
Yes.
The high-speed trains can take you to other cities, and usually when you get to other cities, you can either get shared bikes, or you can get the subways or the buses.
Or the buses, because everybody, lots of people use Alipay, where you can just have a QR code that pops up depending on which city you are in, and then you can ride any bus, any subway.
Yeah, you just
really convenient. But yeah, we're gonna miss that. I also will miss getting around on my scooter. I have a little scooter, and that's also super easy to get around. You're not dependent on on DDs, and you won't get stuck in traffic. And that will be a really big difference when we move to Portugal and to the town that we will be in, because we're going to own a car. I'm going to be owning a car for the first time in my life.
And because I haven't been in the U.S. and I haven't needed a driver's license in so long, I don't actually have one. So we're going to be relying on you driving everywhere until I can go do the tests and get my driver's license. So that's going to be something that is going to be a complete change.
Yes.
And a bit of a culture shock, because we don't own a car. We haven't owned cars. I haven't owned a car since I left the United States. And so that's that's going to be a big change.
So yeah, we'll definitely miss that ease. But then again, it's not that we're going to be without transportation, because we will have our own car.
Yeah, but it's just
as
different.
a replacement. Yeah.
It's just different because
cars are more expensive.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because cars can be expensive if you have to have insurance and you have to have oil changes and upgrades and
road taxes and whatnot.
Gas, petrol,
insurance,
everything.
Anyways, so transportation.
Transportation will be a big one, and that kind of leads into the next one, which is ease of travel. So talking about the high-speed trains, you can get to Shanghai from Beijing in 5 hours. Not that we go down there often, but you can literally get to Hangzhou, to Shanghai, all the way out to
all over the country,
everywhere with the high-speed trains, and it's relatively inexpensive. Living in a city like this, we can get out to the airport. We have two airports here. We have the Beijing capital, and then we have the Dashing airport now, which is a little far, but there are multiple airports that we can fly out of, and domestic flights are fairly cheap.
Yeah, depends on when you go. I would say they're usually a little bit more expensive when you go during the holidays.
Which is unfortunately the only time we can
travel
travel.
Because I work in education. But yeah, it's still like affordable and you can get
Yeah.
anywhere.
And with that, it's like we've also traveled a lot through Southeast Asia, and just through Asia. We've been to Japan, we've been to Korea, we've been to Vietnam, we've been to Mongolia, we've been to Russia, we've
Yeah.
been all over.
Yeah.
So Malaysia and other places,
Lots
and
of
so that's going to be an aspect that's going to be much harder because the closest airport to us, I think, now will be Porto, which will be like an hour and a half drive.
And I know, I hear you guys think, or I already see the comments, well, Europe, you can go anywhere. Europe is so small, especially when you compare it to China. But yeah, like the airport is going to be a lot further away.
Mhm.
We would have to drive there, park our car. Here, it's also super easy for us to have somebody take care of our cats.
Mhm.
Whereas, like, we don't know what that will be like. We don't know anyone there yet.
We have farm animals too.
Yeah, if we're gonna have like somebody needs to take care
all the chickens.
of the chickens.
But yeah, though, so that's one
So
thing I think we're gonna miss is
Yeah.
kind of that ease of travel and also being able to get around in China and kind of throughout Asia very, very relatively, I'd say relatively
easily. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy to.
I guess the next one would be food because.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys have been here for a long time, I don't think most of you have, but this channel originally started as a food and travel channel, and both of us were on it regularly.
It wasn't go back to what 2019, pre-COVID, really.
Pre-COVID is when we were traveling and making food videos because we
if
love
you ever
to eat.
Yeah, because if you ever wondered, why is it called Trip Bitten? Is Miguel's name Trip, as some of you might still think or thought in the past? No, Trip refers to traveling, and Bitten.
Refers to eating.
Yeah, to eating, and also being bitten by the travel bug. So that's how we came up with that name. So
we were trying to be clever.
Yeah.
Most people just think my name is Trip or my last name's Bitten. It's like, okay.
No, there's a thought process behind it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna definitely miss like the food. I mean, we're in Beijing, like the capital city, and there is like
everything.
A ton of options, like from Chinese cuisine, of course, from all over China, plus all the international cuisines that you can find here.
Delicious sushi and Indian food and
Korean.
Yeah, we had Korean barbecue just the other night, and so like there's
Italian, anything really. Sichuan, Yunnan, Xinjiang.
Yeah,
I mean,
everything. Because that is literally, it is the capital, and there's millions of people here. It's one of the largest cities in the world, so there's good food from all over the world and good food from, like you were saying, within China. And I don't think we will have a Chinese restaurant anywhere near where we're living.
I don't think so either.
I think it'll be a 50-minute drive to the bigger city.
Yeah.
To where we could maybe have some international cuisine, and we don't know what the quality of that international cuisine will be, because just because you're a Chinese restaurant doesn't mean you're authentic Chinese food or Korean or anything,
any food
Indian
for that matter.
Yeah.
So that will it's going to be an adjustment. I will definitely miss that.
I will miss that because, again, this leads into the next point is convenience. We can pull up our app like right now, I could order delicious cuisine from anywhere in the world and they'll be here in about 40 minutes. And then I could have lunch or dinner or whatever. And we do that too often, to be honest.
Especially recently, since like a lot of our kitchen stuff...
All our stuff got shipped. We got
a couple of weeks ago. There's very limited options for Miguel to cook because he's the one who cooks.
Well, I don't have my pans and a lot of my utensils are gone, and it's just because of this move that is coming.
We're relying more on the convenience of being able to just go outside and get really good food for you can go very cheap and you can go more expensive, or just having it delivered to the house.
Yeah. And so talking about convenience, like we were saying, with transportation too, getting DDs or using the public transportation, or being able to pay with everything. When we were in Portugal, the last couple of times we went, everything's cash, and we're like counting out our euros, and we're like, hey, where's our little... We had to buy multiple like little wallets when we went because we just didn't have change purses because we're so used to just using our phone for everything, and it's super convenient. And so I think that is going to be a big shock for us, is not just being able to go into the store and just like easily buy stuff, like, or being at home and realizing I've run out of flour or eggs and being like, oh, let me just order it real quick. It'll be here in, half hour, and then I can continue cooking whatever I was cooking.
Yeah,
so
that
convenience.
I also realized that is a really, a real luxury to have here. It's because most of the people don't have that luxury. But yeah, that luxury.
I mean,
will miss.
it's a luxury in a sense of we can afford it, but the systems are put in place for the Chinese people. They're not put in place for us. I mean,
No.
China has developed this society that does accommodate to everyone.
Yeah.
I mean,
True.
especially if you have money, because I see people ordering in our courtyard all the time. There's
Mhm.
packages coming in all the day, like all the day,
Yeah,
all the day,
all
day long.
every
And
day.
you know, it's
True.
from Taobao, it's from Waimai, it's from
Yeah.
all the other
Jingle,
places.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like they didn't build this
What-
system for foreigners. They
No.
built it for their
Oh.
people, and everybody uses
Yeah.
it. So yeah, I think when we talk about convenience, it's like the society has been built to be convenient, and
Yeah.
we've enjoyed that
Yeah.
quite a lot.
Yeah, I really
Because
taking
it
the
is.
advantage of it.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
to
it
say.
is
Yeah.
convenient.
And you adjust to that kind of life too. If it's available, you're going to use it. So
Yeah.
I'll definitely miss that, but also not saying that I won't be able to adjust to the other side of it where it's a lot less. But it will require us to do more planning because if we want to make some meals and we want to do some cooking and we'll realize, oh, we don't have that, we'll have to actually get in the car, drive to the supermarket because you can't walk there, you can't bike there. And it's going to be an entire trip, so we gotta
plan
be very
properly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it can't be mid-afternoon when I'm thinking what I'm gonna have for dinner, like what do I want to make, and then I'm like, ooh, I don't have that, but I can order it in 15, 20 minutes or whatever, and I don't have to leave the comfort of my home. Now it'll be a lot more planning.
Yep.
And I guess that brings us to kind of the last one, which is more for you because it's been a long time.
Well, we have two more really. So the first, the one that really applies to me, I would say, is that I will miss my work and like working with students, working with children, and like all my co-workers because I've been working for a school since 2016, so really that is almost 8 years, which is a long time to be at the same place. And on top of that, like a lot of the people who I work with currently, they have been there since the opening of the campus I'm at. So I've known them for such a long time.
Also
I've worked 8+
years.
Yeah.
For some of them.
Yeah, and like from the previous campus, there were a few people who moved to the new campus. So that's even longer than since 2017, longer than 7 years, which is a long time. And it's not that I'm giving up my job because I'm totally done with it. I don't want to work in education anymore. I don't like working with students. I actually do, and I actually have plans to continue that somehow in the future, but in a different form. So that's gonna be something I'll miss. Yeah. And I thought about it a lot too in the past, where it's like, it's an exciting time for us to be moving to a new country, try something completely different, pursue our dreams. But there's also been moments where I've been sad because I'm leaving all of that behind.
Leaving all of it behind.
Yeah, all of it. Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's our whole lives.
Yes.
So, I mean, we're taking a big risk and trying something new. And I guess that kind of brings us to the new channel. Or did we have one more to talk about?
Because I also wanted to mention that I do believe that I'm going to miss, like, the vibrant culture there like how outgoing people are. It doesn't matter if you go out in the morning and the evening, maybe not in the middle of the day anymore right now because it's
so
boiling hot. But you will see people out everywhere. Like people are going to the outdoor gyms, doing their workouts. There's like, we call them the aunties dancing on the squares. People doing Tai Chi in the park. We can often see them out here from the window because we live across the park.
In the morning, every morning at 7 a.m. there's ladies out here, stretching and slapping themselves and doing their Tai Chi movements. And
so
it's like
really that sense of community where people come together. I think that's, it's not unique to China, but it is really, it is a characteristic of the Chinese culture, which I really enjoy not being part of, but observing and seeing around, and I really like that about that part of the culture. So I'll miss that.
Yeah, that's very true. I think when I go out and walk, I don't often, and I sometimes avoid it just because, but then when I do get out and I kind of walk around, I hear people talking, and I see the conversations, hear the conversations, and people are buying stuff, and there's a certain vibrancy of living in China, because it feels like there's always something to do, and people are always doing something. It can get a little overwhelming at times, but at the same time, there is that. It doesn't matter any time you go out. You can go out to 24, there's 24-hour barbecue places and stuff. Not that we're doing that anymore, but
there's always something
it's always
happening.
There's something going on, and there's a lot there. I think with the very sleepy town that we're going to, there won't be a whole lot
No,
like
a lot
of that. I mean, we might see 1 or 2 people walking around here and there, but you know, it's a small town.
Yeah, although we've seen that in the city like that's closest to us, there's a lot of events happening. For
But
the
it's a bit
community.
of a drive.
Yeah,
It's
like
not like
30
outside
minutes,
your
45
door.
minutes. It's not super close.
Yeah, because here we walk outside and we're next to the Forbidden City, and there's tour buses, and if we go in the other direction, we're up by Suja High and like the Drum and Bell Tower and stuff, and there's tons of people just
so much
constantly
to do and to see.
And literally, that's the park there, Beihai Park. Like we can see it.
Yeah.
That's where the people are doing their exercise in the
I wanted to come back to one point I said earlier about missing the thing, my work and like following our dream in the future. On Roots and Restorations, and probably also actually on my channel, go Yvonne, shameless plug. We will make a video about like pursuing our dreams. I don't think it really fits on Trip but yeah, go into the details of why we're doing this. Because there's a like, I think
there's layers.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not just we got tired and wanted to move and try something new. I mean, there's a lot of layers to why we are uprooting our entire life.
Yeah.
And rooting it
somewhere else.
To
get
roots
those roots.
And
Yeah,
restorations.
it's like a big repot of like what I do with my plants. Repot them.
Yeah. So if you do want to see our restoration stuff, like she said, I put a community post out, and some of you came over already and subscribed and left some nice comments. We have 1 or 2 shorts, just up to trying to establish the channel, and we'll probably start putting out all of the content near the end of July, probably beginning of August is when we'll start to regularly put updates. We have the whole house tour that I've been editing, and it's like it's a lot, but it's also like we're really it's amazing, but it's also a lot. So I think a lot of you would like to see that video. We also have like the land tour because it's so long and such a big video that's split into 2. And then we're going to talk a lot about the real reasons behind, which are more than just getting tired of China, because I don't think we really did get tired of China.
No.
I just think we grew to the point where we wanted more for ourselves. It's not that China can't offer it. It's just what we want, kind of that slower life and that. Well, we'll get into that later
because this was about the things we were going to miss.
Yeah.
Last thing, if you want to see more than only 2 shorts, you can also check out the Instagram account that we have already created for Roots and Restorations, because there I think we've posted 9 to 10 reels already. So check out those reels.
Yeah, a lot of little silly stuff to try and get people engaged.
Yes.
So if you want to follow along on Instagram, if you like that, there's definitely same name, Roots and Restorations. I'll put all the links down below so you can go if you're interested in that.
Click and go there.
But let's wrap this up before we talk for another 20 minutes and people are like, oh my god, these 2 are rambling like crazy people.
Should we set a timer?
All right, finally, just thanks to the members that are still here. It's really awesome. And for anybody that comments and who has been following along, I've gotten a lot more positive feedback with this than I kind of expected. And really great comments saying good luck in the future and that you guys love us, which is, I mean, it's surprising, and it's really nice to hear those because some of you have been following us for a long time and you really care about
and it's encouraging
us.
too to see those comments and like
and it makes us care about you guys too when you say that, because it's like, oh people really do care about my opinion. People really do like me. It's surprising. But all right, thank you to the members. Thanks for everybody who's around, and we'll see you hopefully on the new channel, but also here in the future.
Bye.
Bye-bye.